Welcome back to the Queen Rising podcast. My name is Misty, your host, and I have been helping women regain their energy since 2015. I've been in business for 10 years now. I've been doing this for a long time, and I am so passionate about helping women recover from burnout, get their energy back, and truly live a life they don't need a vacation from. So today, I want to talk about healthy habits that can improve your memory and brain function. So a couple years ago, this was in about 2020, I was in the height of burnout. I had kind of gone through effects of burnout in like late 2019. It was really setting in 2020, and I had to kind of put my business on the back burner. I had brain fog, anxiety. I wasn't sleeping right. I had gained weight, so much weight, like 40 pounds over what seemed like overnight. It wasn't overnight, but it was really quickly. And I had all the symptoms of ADHD. And I started to recognize, wow, I've been dealing with this my whole life. I didn't know it. But because I was in burnout, it was exasperated. Up until that point, I had been able to kind of control it and been able to mitigate it without knowing I had it, without medication, all that. However, in burnout, everything was heightened. It was all heightened. What I did to shift it is I had to, like I said, I had to put my business on the back burner, and I had to just like pour into myself and take better care of myself. And so you might need to make some really tough decisions if there's things where you're just being stretched too thin, and you might just need to make a decision on what is a priority right now. And it doesn't mean that you have to put it down forever, but like I did, I had to put my business down for a while, and I was able to come back to it, but it was a hard season for me. And so I want to talk today about habits that you can implement to either avoid burnout, or if you are in burnout, this is going to help your memory, your brain function. And before I forget, if you love this, I do have a 7-day reset. It is $35, and I have just revamped it. It was very, very successful in the early days of my business, and it was a 3-day jumpstart for weight loss. And a lot of people, they used it to just jumpstart their weight loss, get more energy. But I made it better. I made it 7 days. You get actually recipes, grocery lists, motivational videos from me every single day to cheer you on and keep you going. There's also journal prompts, and I'm so excited about this new version. I wanted to make it so much better than what it was. And also I wanted it to reflect on the growth that I've gone through, things that I've learned in this season of my business and this season of my life, the things that I didn't know in my early 30s. So how do you know if you are dealing with brain fog? This can show up in ways that you may not expect. You may just be procrastinating. You may feel like you don't want to get out of bed in the morning. You also could be doom scrolling on your phone, whether it be TikTok or Reels or whatever, as a way to like numb out. I was doing all of these things. You also could just be forgetting things. And that was a common theme with me when that story I told about I was in like massive burnout. I had so much anxiety. All of a sudden it was like I was so used to handling all of these things. I was homeschooling my kids. I was running a business. I had a house. I was a wife. And I was used to just handling all this. And then all of a sudden it was just like I couldn't function. All of a sudden it was like I can't do all of it anymore. And I didn't know. I was like, what is wrong with me? So chronic stress, burnout can massively impact your cognitive conditioning. Study this one piece of information. It said the relationship with burnout and job performance, it typically can lead to decreased productivity, lower job satisfaction, absenteeism, and higher turnover rates. So this is a common theme people are seeing in the workplace. And again, this is like your job performance has gone down, like you just can't do all the things that you used to do, and it's just a sign that you need to take a break. So I want to share with you how you can get your focus back, but I really want to emphasize the need for self-care if you are dealing with any of these things. Did you know that even being slightly dehydrated can impact how your brain functions? When I was doing my research for this, it shows that even a slight dehydration, like you're only down like 1 or 2%, it can lead to impairments in memory, attention, and your performance. Balancing my blood sugar has massively helped with this. Your blood sugar levels is massively impacted by what you're eating. And so if you prioritize protein and fat over sugar and carbs, then that can improve your blood sugar levels. So protein and fat are it takes the least amount, or it takes your body the most amount of time to digest, which is good for your blood sugar balance because it's a slow release over time versus sugar or simple carbs. Like if you eat a donut, it's going to impact your blood sugar levels like immediately, but then you also crash. And I learned this when I was working in a nursing home. We had a few diabetics, and we had this one lady, she would crash out all the time. She had super low blood sugar levels, and they would give her an orange juice. And again, it was like in just a few minutes, she would be back to normal, and her blood sugar levels were in normal range. But that just shows you the amount of sugar that is in orange juice and how it impacts our blood sugar levels. Again, like if you already, like this lady, she had, super low blood sugar levels, so she needed it. But if you don't need it and you're putting that in your body on a regular basis, it can impact your mental cognition. And if you are going to eat carbs, then I highly suggest you pick ones that have fiber. So things like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, even fruits, because yes, fruit has sugar in it, but it has fiber that can help stabilize that sugar. Now, there are some foods that are they're known as like brain boosting foods that you can add into your diet if you're not already, that can help with your mental, your brain function. And things like omega-3s, like eating salmon, chia seeds, walnuts, also antioxidants like eating berries, leafy greens, turmeric, any, like some of the good spices like ginger can really help with your, antioxidants, and that can help your brain function. And if you're not already taking a supplement, you can add magnesium and B vitamins that also help with this. And we briefly talked about this, but avoiding those sugar crashers, anything with like artificial sweeteners, a lot of sugar, like your coffee drinks, anything with like just a lot of added sugar, donuts, cakes, cookies, pastas, things that you're eating without the protein, without the healthy fats that can help stabilize that blood sugar level. Now, one thing that I've really changed up is my sleep routine, and sleep has massively and can massively improve your brain function. So sleep plays a vital role in your how your brain is functioning and your memory. Our brain, sleep is how we rest. And if you're not getting enough rest, how can you just keep going? You can't just keep going on and on and on. You're not a robot. You need that rest. And sleep is where our body and our brains like go to repair itself. There is this study I heard years and years ago that someone who has little to no sleep in 24 hours is as has the cognitive functioning of someone who is under the influence of alcohol, a drunk driver. So I want you to think about the next time you skip on your sleep and you're getting behind the wheel, that is dangerous. So I just want to emphasize the importance of sleep. And I struggled with sleep for the past several years, and only within the last 6 months, since my divorce and moving out on my own and living in my own place, now my sleep is so good. Okay, so how can you get better sleep and prioritize better sleep? One is having similar wake up times and going to bed times, like waking up at the same time every day, going to bed at the same time every day. This gets your body into a routine that it can count on. Nix any and all screens about an hour before bed, more if you can do it, but an hour is good. That means being off your phone, even getting off the computer, off the TV, allowing your body to just come into a restful place, like that final hour before you go to sleep. The blue light really messes with our brain, and especially one thing you can do is getting natural light and utilizing the natural light to know like when you should be getting up, when you should be going to bed. Now, I know everyone can't do this. Now, my ex-husband, he worked a lot of late nights, and so he couldn't really do this. But if you can and you have a schedule that you can like get up with the sun and start to wind down with the sun, and getting your circadian rhythm in balance, that can massively help with sleep. And so one thing you can do is just like getting sunlight first thing in the morning, turning off all your major bright overhead lights. As the sun is going down, start to dim those lights. Use natural lamps, even candles, and turning off those harsh bright lights. That can start to help your brain like get used to this idea that you're winding down. Magnesium, but magnesium helps with sleep massively. I also started taking HRT, which is hormone replacement therapy. Part of the reason why I believe I wasn't able to sleep is my progesterone levels were super, super low. I got them tested a few years ago, and I started taking HRT a few months ago, and that also is really helping with my sleep. You can also try like lemon balm tea, chamomile tea, peppermint tea, some of these herbal teas that can help calm you, and they just have like a relaxing effect on your body. So there's different kinds of sleep, and one of the sleeps that you really need is the deep sleep, REM sleep. And this is not taking like a 15-minute cat nap. This is like allowing your body to get into a deep, restful sleep after several hours of being in bed. And this has the biggest bang for your buck as far as your brain function. And you can even get into a deep rest through things like meditation. Okay, so let's talk about movement and how it affects your brain. Exercise is a brain booster. It helps with blood flow, it helps with metabolism, it helps with dopamine functioning. It improves your blood flow and neuroplasticity. Best types of exercise for your brain is walking, strength training, and or yoga. Morning movement can set the tone for your day for years and years and years. I prefer to get my workout in first thing in the day. It really does set the tone for my whole day. And I feel like if I already got my workout in, it also gives me just like that more energy, more motivation to just crush other things on my to-do list, because it's like I've already gotten, it's like this momentum that I've already gotten going in my day. So over the past couple months, I have been rearranging my schedule so I can go to the gym first thing in the morning. And sometimes that means not getting to work until a little bit later, but I know that that exercise is so, so important. For it's good for my ADHD, it's good for my brain, it's good for my energy, and I am just in so much of a better mood when I have that morning movement. Even 5 to 10 minutes of movement can help reset your nervous system. So one thing that I like to do is in the middle of the day, especially if I'm working a lot, especially if I'm sitting, I'm working on the computer a lot, I will take a break, I will put on some music, and I will have like a 5 or 10 minute dance break. And it is just a way to reset my energy. It's a way to get my body moving again. And it can really uplift my mood as well. Now, lastly, we want to talk about mental health and mindfulness. And there are some simple things that you can do. Your mental focus is like a muscle. So I know a lot of people have trouble with motivation. However, it is like a muscle, and even a couple minutes to start, and you can build up to 5 minutes, you can build up to 10 minutes, and just focus in like a muscle, like you are building your biceps, and knowing that the more you do it, the stronger you're going to get. I like to go for a walk in the mornings sometimes, and or I will go to the gym first thing like I talked about. You can also do an intention setting. I like to do some journaling in the morning while I'm drinking my lemon water and just have gratitude for my day and understand like what it is I need to focus on. By lunchtime, making sure you're eating a well-balanced lunch, you're taking a movement break, and you're making sure to drink enough water. In the evening time, you can shut off your electronics early, have some herbal tea while you're journaling that hour before bed. A bonus is if you can start tracking your energy with either your menstrual cycle or the moon cycle, and understanding your flow, your energy flow, and understand that you're not going to have the same levels of energy every single day. So I hope this is helpful. I hope that you implement some of these to start getting better brain function and your mental clarity. So I would love for you to just, if you're not already, just focusing in on your hydration and figuring out how much water you should be drinking. Just a rule of thumb, it's usually half of your body weight in ounces. So if you're a 140-pound woman, then you would aim for 70 ounces of water. So, drinking more water and or, seeing how you can improve your sleep levels. So until then, also, I want to remind you, if you want to get the 7-day reset, I will have that link in the down below in the show notes. And I can't wait till next time.